The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 33 of MMA to the Max. I am your host, the immensely talented, always phenomenal Robert Taylor, and I am joined by the insanely average co-host of mine, Joseph Hudson, aka Riverside Joe. Joe, welcome back, man. How have you been the past week?
Well, I'm just this extremely average comment. When have you seen me naked, bro? We've been, family for a long time, but I don't think you ever saw me naked. So how do you know I'm extremely average? Maybe I'm just slightly above.
It runs in the family.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Cheers. Thanks for the extra inch, pal. Appreciate it. I'm doing good, man. Enjoying this lovely Saturday. How about you? Work all day again?
You know it, dude. Every Saturday morning, got to make that money, make those sales at the good old Frito-Lay. But I don't know how beautiful it is down there. But it looks like shit out here where I'm at, man.
Oh yeah, I'm inside a nice warm house with fucking the heater going, the fire on. The kids and the wife watching TV, it's a great day for me here. But I want to mention something. I like this idea for the format today. When we didn't have a show to review, I think we have a great show for everybody.
Yeah, that's right. For the first time, MMA Max is doing our own Ask Us Anything. I know Reddit and everybody has their AMA, the Ask Me Anything. There's two of us, so you're asking us.
That's right. You're asking us, God.
Yeah, unless it's specifically directed at somebody, like a couple of the questions were directed towards me, which means Joe's going to read them to me.
I shall.
Yeah, which should be pretty fun. Yeah, no show to review. We'll definitely preview the main event, at least most of the main card for next week. Yeah, show off that shirt. I make beer disappear. What's your superpower? Nice.
That's right. That's what I do.
Had to say it for
make beer disappear.
Had to say it for the people on the audio version.
That's right.
Yeah, so we're going to be answering you guys' question. We asked on our Facebook page. Ask us anything. Could have been MMA related or anything you really wanted to ask. For the most part, it was MMA related. I appreciate that. We didn't want to get too deep into the rabbit hole with other topics. Yeah, dude, other than that, welcome back again. Glad you're here. Got to take down that milk carton picture.
Yeah, and big shout outs to Derek. Thank you for stepping in on short notice for me, man. It was it's just been a tough couple weekends getting things scheduled, so I appreciate him stepping in. It was a good show. I really enjoyed listening to it. Someone else to help keep Robert in his place and keep his head from swelling up so big he can't get those headphones on. So, Derek, well done.
Yeah, I that's basically how I laid it out for him. Is like, hey, man, if you want to step in and all that, I got to get some content out. If not, I'm going to go on a solo on this episode, and didn't quite work out last time we did that.
Those are scary.
Yeah. Those
are very scary. The solo Robert missions are a catastrophe. So that's good. Thanks again for stepping in. So I appreciate it. But before we get moving on to this new format, I did miss my opportunity to how do we do it? Like T-City thing here, right? I did warn you.
Okay, like Derek and I talked about it last week. Yeah, sure, he had a chance to finish him. Anybody that thought that's how it was going to go down was full of shit.
Nobody did. Yeah, he definitely had a chance to win. He was in that fight, which we did talk about. I thought it was going to be on the ground.
It was looking like an Edgar fight for the first,
It was looking like an Edgar fight. But the great thing is you look at the adjustment that Ortega made. I know you guys went over this, but I'm just happy with how he did that. He wasn't able to fight at range, Edgar kept getting inside, and so he switched from using his fist to that inside elbow.
Yep.
Beautiful. A la Carlos Condit versus Thiago Alves, right? The little guys get inside, get in with that tight elbow. It was beautifully well done. One thing I really did enjoy over the past week is all the adulation, support, and love that Frankie Edgar has gotten throughout the entire MMA community. Everyone is like, dude, you're the man. You lost one. It's all right. It's never happened, but you're the man. And
he'll be back.
I want to ditto all that too. I love him. He's one of the best fighters to watch. I just thought it was very dangerous of him to take a fight against somebody like Brian Ortega and potentially lose his title shot. So
makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. And obviously it was dangerous for him. Before we get into this episode, get really deep into this episode with the questions that everybody asked. Well, I should say everybody. I think it was only like 6 or 7 of you, and you asked multiple questions, which, cool. Hey, much appreciated. I mean,
oh, hell yeah. Giving us some content.
Got to start somewhere, right? Joe?
Yeah.
It's a new week.
It is a new week.
It's a new drink. What are you drinking this week, brother?
I went into the local Riverside Bodega, for all of you Riversidians, the one that we all know well, La Bodega. Walked in there, and they had some of this on the shelf. Obviously, always a limited release.
You've got to remember that there's also audio. You've got to tell them what this is.
I was about to.
Okay.
Pliny the Elder by Russian River Brewing Company. It's a great limited release every year. A number of years it was rated the #1 beer in the U.S. It has fallen drastically. It's now rated number 15, excuse me. But still, man, it's a limited release beer. You got to get it when you can. I went in there looking for some kind of porter, some stout, try to veer away from the IPA, and ended up with an Imperial IPA. But nice. It's fucking delicious, man. It's good. It's worth the limited release. When one comes around, buy it for you. You'll enjoy it. It's fucking easy to drink. It's delicious. A little fruity kind of citra hop in there. You can taste it all the way down to the finish. And,
I love it.
And it's good. What do you got?
Like the sound of that. I am drinking the pretty local Hangar 24 Sierra Ground Coffee Milk Stout.
Very local for me.
Yeah, I mean, more local for you than me. Yeah, absolutely. I tried this once before, and it's one of the best stouts I've ever had. Like, in terms of just how smooth it is to drink. There's no bitterness at all, dude. It's almost like you're drinking a coffee with creamer. Like, there's no bitterness of the coffee. It's hidden by the creamer. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, dude, there's like, it's got a nice coffee roast taste to it, also with some sweetness added. Like, it's, like you just added the creamer. And that's the best way I could describe it, to be honest.
Yeah, like coffee with cream and sugar. Just
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Nice,
coffee with cream and sugar. Very nice, very easy to drink. No bitterness to it all. Like, it was a hell of a revelation the first time I tried it, and I told some of the friends from the Craft Brewed Sports Group, shout out to them real quick.
Shout out.
That, is definitely one of the best stouts I ever had. I was very surprised, especially because it comes from Hangar 24. So, which is, I'm not saying they're a bad brewery, it's just not really known for their stouts. No, their orange weed has been the thing that's kind of carried them and got their name going. Betty IPA is a damn good IPA, and it's their second best beer in my opinion. But once again, Riverside owned. It was until at least
Riverside owned Ben Cook, graduated from the same high school as me. I'm just telling you, we produce awesomeness. and you're tasting it in your mouth, what comes from Riverside, buddy. Just remember that. I'm just telling you.
Okay. What I'm tasting in my mouth is what comes from a man in Riverside that you once knew, right?
I didn't really know him. We went to the same high school. I mean, he knows my little brother and some other people, and I'm not going to act like I know him.
All right, I got you.
I'm not one of those guys. Yeah, I know. I don't know Ben. I mean, yeah. Anyways.
All right, so
cheers, brother.
Cheers, absolutely. I do have another beer on reserve. If I get to that, though, we'll talk about it then, and as I'm sure you do as well. Let's get into the questions, man. Let's start this, and I'm actually going to start with a question that has nothing to do with MMA. It has to do with the podcast.
Sure.
Eve Taylor commented, asked, no relation.
no relationship in the Taylor family right there.
Yeah, no Taylor, just coincidental last name. Eve Taylor asked, what do you love most about doing this, as in the podcast, the show? Joe, go on and answer that first, man.
Honestly, for me, it's what we did anyway. After the end of a fight or during a fight, we were always communicating, always talking. I loved having somebody to bounce back and forth. Robert and I, if you listen to the show, we agree, disagree about half the time. And it's nice to have somebody who I know is knowledgeable in the sport, someone who is opinionated enough to tell me to go pound sand and go screw myself and challenge me in my opinions and perspectives. That's what I'd love about it. Just, it's what I'm going to do anyway. I love MMA. I love talking about MMA. I can't fucking stop talking about it.
Yeah.
So finally I've got an outlet for it, so I just don't bug everybody in my family or at work all day. I can come here, talk to Robert, talk to all you guys, and get out all this shit I've been thinking about all freaking week.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on that. Yeah, I mean, for one, I'm a talker. I got a big mouth. I like to talk. Everybody that knows me, family, friends, they know that's the truth.
That is.
So this gives me an avenue to get those words out, to get everything that's off my chest when it comes to the sport of MMA and, well, beer, two of my favorite things, off my chest and into some sort of content that could possibly make me money, or at least, make entertainment for somebody. I'm an entertainer first and foremost in my mind. I always have been for drama in elementary school, high school, all that good stuff. So, I don't always show it on this show because sometimes it gets a little nerve-wracking, but whatever. I'm getting better.
Fine, brother. You're fine.
Yeah, but like you said, man, we just talk about it anyways. I talk to you about it, even if we're not watching the fights. I talk to all my other friends about it, even if I'm not watching the fights. And the shit that we talk about is the shit that we all talk about. So, why not talk about it with everybody else? And
yeah,
plus it's fun. I mean, I like it. It's fun. It gives me a hobby. So, besides playing video games, and drinking beer.
Yeah, for me, it is at this point, say, my hobby. Like, I work 60 plus hours a week. I love my job. It's great. I come home, I get a couple hours a night with my kids, put them to bed on the weekend. You and I get to do this. I remember when for everyone who doesn't know the history of the show, Robert can break down, but he originally asked me, he's like, hey, I've been asked if I want to do a podcast for W2M Net. You want to join me? Talk MMA. And I was like, dude, I've been fucking dreaming of this day for fucking ever, dude.
Yeah,
That's what we did anyways. Now we might as well record it for people to listen to it.
Been regretting ever since. Shit.
Yeah. Yep. Now it's not just see me on the holidays, brother. Now you got to see me every fucking week.
I know. Fuck, man. Jesus. Speaking of that, Easter's coming up, so we'll talk about that later. Nobody cares about our boring lives. Anyways, yeah. So.
Good question, man.
Yeah, good question, Eve. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good one to start it off with too. So the next one was going to be my first question, and it just happens to also be Eve. So congratulations on having good questions to get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily the best questions. They're good
questions for any podcast, really.
Yeah, exactly. And what Eve asked is, how do you get your non-sporty girlfriend/wife into this kind of stuff? Asking for a friend, of course.
And I know she's asking for her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is actually a big sports guy, a football guy. Not really big. I just know he's a football guy. So, and she doesn't really care.
Not an MMA guy. Yeah.
He could be an MMA guy. I don't know that for a fact. But basically, the way I would get her into it, like at least the same way I got Vanessa into it, my fiance. Lots of domestic abuse, forcing her to sit down and watch the fights, Clockwork Orange style. And if she ever talks back during it, I give her a little waterboarding. No big deal.
just a little waterboarding, not a lot of waterboarding.
No, but seriously, realistically, she's not so into it, the sport. I mean, she'll come and watch the fights, and she'll sit down and she'll get into them. She does have her favorites, and it mostly has to do with like their style of fighting or even their looks. Like, she's a big fan of Carlos Condit. She came across Carlos Condit through his GQ magazine spread in the suit and everything. He looks svelte, man. He looked good.
He's a handsome man.
He was, man. Like, he was dressed to the nines in that suit. So she was like, who's that? I don't know. It's just one of the most dangerous fighters in the world, at least at that time.
The natural born killer.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with football. She wasn't too big into football. Get her to sit down and watch for a little bit, and with other people, and then you see everybody else getting excited for certain things that happen, just like in the fights, and eventually you get into it too. So
yeah. With my wife, she was not into the sport before we met and started dating, and I've been in this sport, most of my adult life, or into the sport, not in the sport. But worked with her. My wife is a very competitive person, always competitive, can't stand to not fucking win. So
I can tell.
Yeah, and so for me, what helped, one of the things that helped was getting her involved in the UFC Pick'em League. So now she has a stake in these fights. So she wants to watch these fights, and in doing so, the other step is storyline. Now she's following it. Now she's doing the storyline. So I would always tell her, "Oh, hey, check this out. This is T.J. Dillashaw. He trained with Alpha Male," and kind of give the backstory behind that whole thing when that saga went down. Or for that instance, when we watched T.J. Dillashaw, knock out Renan Barão. It was like, look, Renan Barão just fought T.J. Dillashaw's mentor, KO'd him in the second round. He's unbeatable, and Uriah was screaming this guy's name. TJ, give him a shot. He's got his shot. Kind of building that story. Unbeaten in 10 years as Renan Barão. So she's like, oh, this is now interesting. So it's the same thing that WWE does to get the billions of fans that they have. It's the storyline. So if I'm balls deep in all the storylines and all the news. So sharing that kind of stuff, giving them like you're doing something to them, but allowing them to have some kind of access to the humanity of it, the storyline, what makes these people not just people you see on TV, but humanize them a touch and allow your girlfriend / wife to humanize these people and find ones that they like. And that's worked for me, and Zane has her favorite fighters, similar to mine, again, because my influence is like, obviously, in my mind, T.J. Dillashaw is one of the greatest fighters of all time, and so she looks at fighters the same way I do.
Yeah.
But she also likes fighters that aren't my favorite because she likes their storyline or likes how they behave. So, for me, get them involved in the competition with the Pick'em League and start talking about the storylines. Even if you don't think they're listening, you just keep dropping that little seed in there when you're watching the fight. Like, babe, come here, look, this is that fight I was telling you about. Watch this guy, he's freaking insane. Great jiu-jitsu, check out how this guy does his grappling. Start nudging him over. I don't beat my wife into watching it. I slowly nudge her over through storyline and humanity.
Yeah, but you'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Be a lot cooler if you did. You know what I like about these high school girls?
Are you done?
I get older.
Are you done?
They stay the same age.
Tomorrow's daylight savings time, man. We're going to lose an hour. Are you finished with that question or what?
I could go on. I am a bit long-winded. That is one thing the two of us have in common. We can fucking talk.
That's right. Except one of us knows when to stop. Oh,
yeah.
All right. Next question. I want to get into this real quick. Duke Hebert. Sorry, I always get that name mixed up. His last name, Duke Hebert. Hey, coincidentally, man, the creator of the MMA Max logo, as well as the backdrop, also creates all the pictures we use for interviews. So thanks to him, man, he's a big help to the show.
Sir.
He's got a couple of questions. We could just do these in order for his questions, like just switch off, I guess.
Let's run down Duke's questions. Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. So in terms of super fights, Duke asks, which fighter of any rival promotion would you like to see in a super fight with any current UFC champion?
Well, there's two of them that I was thinking about, so I'll shoot out one. You can shoot out another if you have. But I would actually honestly like to see how Darian Caldwell would fare against T.J. Dillashaw. Bellator champion at 135, Darian Caldwell versus UFC champion T.J. Dillashaw 35. I was trying to think of. Obviously, there's another obvious Bellator champion who you'd like to see fight a UFC fight. I was trying to think a little bit outside the box with someone who stands a chance. Caldwell will lose to T.J. Dillashaw probably via vicious KO, but I'd like to see him get in there and try to mix it up because I think if he had the opportunity to fight someone of that caliber, he's good. His game would go up higher if he could fight somebody of that caliber. So that's one that I'd like to see.
All right. Well, see, my answer here is not actually a Bellator fighter. Obviously, there's some greats. The current champion thing is what kind of gets to me because, I mean, the first and foremost super fight I would like to see is Ben Askren versus GSP.
Yeah, because it was current champion. Askren's retired,
and I know he's
retired, or even
but,
Askren in T-Wood if you want to go current champion.
Well, they trained together, so that's why I couldn't do that anyways.
But I know.
Mean, I am going to go with ONE FC though still, and that's their 135-pound champion Bibiano Fernandez against TJ Dillashaw. That's a fight I want to see. Bibiano was close to signing to the UFC before he went to ONE FC. They obviously offered way more money.
Oh, yeah.
I still want to see that kid in the UFC. That kid is on an amazing win streak right now. It's in the high teens, and I think he's got the gumption, the style, the technique to take it to TJ. Will he win? I don't know. It's going to be a great fight.
No, I don't think he'd get KO'd. I think he'd go to the decision, and he would get slowly pieced up, but he would hang in there right now. But again, that's the thing with him at ONE FC. He's potentially a huge fish in a small pond.
Oh yeah.
He needs to. The same thing that we had to see with The other 135-pound champ from WSOF.
That's what I was about to say. That Marlon Moraes.
Thank you, Marlon Moraes.
That's what I was about to say. If this was asked 2 years ago, Marlon Moraes would be my answer.
All day long. All day long. It's funny because we're stuck at 35 because I think that's one of the deepest divisions. Yeah, they're fucking A. I can go. Yeah. My 235-pound ass loves 135-pound guys, dude. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, that's because they can't run from you.
Yeah, exactly. So my other one, just real quick, I don't want to get into it too much, but it'd be nice to see Rory Mack versus T. Wood.
Again? It wasn't that great the first time.
No, but both of them got a substantially better since they fought.
I agree.
That's why it wasn't my go-to.
Yeah,
it was Caldwell versus TJ, but that's a good one.
I like it.
So I'll go to Duque Bear's next question. Your thoughts on Nick Newell's victory over Leque in LFA? Leque in LFA this weekend. Do you see the UFC signing him? As before, they had mentioned his disability was the only reason why they hadn't signed him.
So first of all, to go to the second part, the reason why they weren't signing him because of it wasn't so much his disability; it was the fact that he was going to be looked at as a freak show at the time. This was before the money fights and the freak show fights that Dana White was always about. Couture versus Tony, notwithstanding. But here's the thing about Nick Newell. I think what he does is amazing. Congenital amputee, doesn't have his I think it's his left
arm,
left hand. It's basically just his left hand. He's got the rest of the hand.
Just right below the elbow here.
He's almost got a wrist to me. I mean, the length is there on the forearm, but it's still amazing what he's doing with basically one hand, especially because he's got all the submissions on his record. I think, however, that anybody that is excited for him to make the jump to the UFC is just looking for him to take a beating. I mean, like it's been said many times, there are levels to this shit. The first UFC caliber fighter that he fought in his career, Justin Gaethje, put a beating on him and knocked him out. It wasn't even a close fight.
Hurt him really bad.
And like I said, I love what Nick Newell's doing. I think he's inspirational. I think he's great. He's showing that it doesn't matter what disability you have. You can do whatever you want in your life if you just work towards it and go for it.
Yeah.
I don't think he does anything in the UFC, and I don't think the UFC signs him. Well, I don't know. Maybe in this day and age, but no, I don't think he's that much of a draw to make the signing worth it. I don't think it happens, and it's sad to say. I don't.
So I could see one circumstance in which he would be signed, and I'll get to that at the end. But I don't see him being signed for two reasons. Number one reason, amputee or not, he is not UFC caliber. His skills are great. Sad, maybe it is, but he's not UFC caliber. Granted, they've got a 500 man and woman roster plus. They've got some people on there who technically shouldn't be UFC caliber, but that's beside the point. In his weight division at 55, he's not going to break the top 15. That's one reason. Number two,
I wouldn't even say top 20. I mean, even there.
Yeah, I agree. He's a phenomenal fighter. The fact that he's an amputee is not the reason why I don't think he's UFC caliber. I just don't think he ties his skill set in together well. He can beat up everybody in LFA. He did a hell of a job in WSOF before he got to Gaethje. He's a phenomenal athlete and a fighter and could beat the shit out of me in a heartbeat, and that's not what I'm trying to say. But he's not UFC caliber.
And neither are we.
Number two, by no long shot. Number two is if you put an amputee in there, and the reason I watched that fight with Gaethje with a non-MMA fan, we were at a friend's house, and I put it on the TV and we were watching it, and she was appalled by the fact that she saw a disabled person getting his ass fucking kicked. Now, granted, I had to tell her 1,000 times, and I showed her videos like, look, this isn't just a disabled person. This guy's a bad MF-er, right? And he's fucking really good. And he deserves to be there against the champion because there's nobody else. But all she saw was an amputee getting his ass beat. The UFC can't handle that kind of press. They can't. So the only way, back to where I said they could sign him, the only way they could sign him is if they put him up against a bunch of jobbers. And just promote him against jobbers. But the problem with that is you've got to move him up. If he's winning, eventually he's got to fight Gaethje again. You know what I mean? He's got to fight someone who's going to beat the crap out of him. And then it goes back to the perspective of this amputee is being mauled. That's so not right.
Yeah.
That's why the UFC won't sign.
No, 100% agree. It's sad to say he just hasn't beaten anybody that gives me, hope or faith that he can do anything in the UFC besides get really hurt. And that's not something I want to see. I don't want to see.
No. You don't want to see anybody, amputee or not. You don't want to see anyone who's not UFC caliber get in and get the shit kicked out of them like freaking Shevchenko just did. You don't want to see that.
Yeah, I agree. So keeping with Duke's questions, he had quite a few, so appreciate it, man.
Good ones, Duke.
What are your thoughts on Ronda Rousey signing? You probably should have asked me this in the order, but whatever. What are your thoughts on Ronda Rousey signing with the WWE? Like Ken Shamrock, Brock Lesnar, Matthew Riddle, and others, do you think it actually hurts her brand to cross over into the scripted TV show sort of thing?
Oh, you can go ahead and answer that because you're right. You should be the one to first answer. You're more of the WWE fan, but I do have my opinion and thought. Yeah. Go.
I think Ronda Rousey signing for the WWE is great for Ronda Rousey. I have a helicopter coming over my house right now. That's awesome. You can probably hear it.
You live in Victorville. That's
I live in
why.
Victorville. Without even looking outside, I guarantee you that's a police helicopter, and they're searching for somebody. So,
yep.
Can't tell. Anyways, I think it's great for not only for her but for fans of the WWE. She brings an aura of star to anytime she's on the screen, regardless of what happened to her in MMA. She got knocked out by Holm. She was still the star. Regardless if UFC was pushing her as the star, she still would have been the star. She has that aura about her. She has that it factor, quote unquote. It's better for her. She never really evolved as a fighter. Once the talent of the women's division caught up to her, she never evolved. And she had a shitty coach that couldn't help her evolve, and she never wanted to leave that coach or leave her home in Glendale. So, yeah, it's a smart move. And it's already paying dividends. Ratings have gone up for the WWE for Monday Night Raw.
I've actually paid attention to it, and it's been a long time since I've paid any attention to it. It's been a very long time.
And she's a crossover star. I mean, and does it hurt her brand? Absolutely not. Because as much as we are MMA fans, as much as we want to talk about how WWE's fake, MMA's real, here's the facts of everything. All right,
it's still real to me. Damn it.
Yeah, right. The WWE is still higher than the UFC when it comes to mainstream. They're both pretty taboo when it comes to mainstream, but I'm sorry. The WWE still gets better ratings consistently, makes more money in a year. It's just the way it happens.
No, correct. And one of those reasons is the reason that Vince McMahon didn't buy the UFC way back when is he can't
control the outcome.
Dictate the outcome.
Yeah.
So you can dictate the outcome. We talked about storylines, right? If you can control the storyline, it's a soap opera. You can get people hooked in and brought in. That's what they do.
Yeah. And not to mention, let's just not even forget about the fact that Ronda Rousey's a lifelong fan. This isn't somebody like Brock Lesnar that's jumping in just to collect a paycheck. This is Ronda Rousey, who's a lifelong fan. I mean, her first appearance in WWE, since signing a contract, was at the Royal Rumble. She comes out in legitimately one of Roddy Piper's old leather jackets given to her by his family. I mean,
she asked if she could use his name before she started fighting professionally.
That's right. Yeah, that's a fan, and it's somebody that respects the business.
She's a huge fan.
She's not there for a paycheck. She's there to bust her ass. They're obviously gonna hold off her first match for WrestleMania.
As they should. That's a big.
But she's still
might entice me to
every
buy.
week. She's appearing every week.
Yeah, but she's not saying much.
Which is good because she's not quite ready for that much time on the microphone. She still has to get that down. Luckily, WWE has a great performance center that actually trains them for that stuff in Florida. But I think it's great for her. I don't think it hurts her brand because, to be honest, I don't think it hurts her brand any more than losing to Holm and Nunez back-to-back. That kind of hurt her brand a lot, at least in terms of fans' eyes. So, yeah, no, I think it's great for her, and I'm happy for her. And as a fan of WWE, I don't really watch as much as I want to. I watch it when I can, at least the pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. It's fun to see her on TV. I'm cool. I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna truncate my answers a little bit because I think we agreed to a point. Am I, what my thoughts? Good for her. Good for her. She gets to be competitive to a degree in athletics, which is what she loves. I don't know. I'm doing competitive in air quotes because again, it's scripted.
It's scripted. It's still athletic, but it's still athletic. It's not competition.
Correct. It's not technically competition, but she gets to that athletic outlet which she needs. So I'm happy for her with that. Shamrock, Lesnar, Riddle, whatever. I mean, good for Matt Riddle. He needed to find a way to make money, and it's going to work for him because he actually was someone who had a decent mouthpiece. Like, he could talk a little bit, so good for him.
He's actually one of the best wrestlers in the world already. That's the crazy part.
Yeah,
on the independent scene. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's really good. I didn't want to share too much the fact that I've actually paid a little attention to Mr. Matt Riddle there.
And
he's doing a phenomenal job. Yeah, you're forced to if you there is a crossover between pro wrestling and MMA.
Yeah.
Like it exists. And then as far as her legacy, no, she damaged her legacy to whatever degree it's going to be damaged by the way she took those 2 losses.
Yeah,
whatever
and the way
damage
she
is done
afterwards.
Legacy, correct. It's like she drove her Porsche through the dust storm. It got dinged and scratched up. That was on her own accord. Whatever she does after it, it's already dinged and scratched. It ain't going to get worse.
Yeah.
So
in my mind, really.
In my mind, yeah, she could, but it's going to not be in that Porsche. She's going to be driving something else now. So that legacy is scratched and dented and done. That's what
just
I mean.
As nice, just as nice as the Porsche, but just a different brand.
Exactly. It's like she's just going to get the 2018 model, the 2011 model got fucked up, so she's moving on.
That's right.
And again, I'm fine with that. And again, I have no hard feelings. Like, fucking dude, crush it. Be the biggest star in WWE. Go for it. Like, why do I care? Like,
That's right.
Good for her. So.
All right, so keep going then with Duke's questions.
Yeah, this one comes back from Duke Bear again. With Brock Lesnar, do you believe...
It was my question, but sure, go ahead.
No, you asked that one, but I'll let you answer it.
Is it? Oh, I did. You're right.
Yeah.
Hey, you got me.
It's okay. It's okay. You've been up since 2 o'clock. I've been up since 4 o'clock, so I've got a couple of hours on you.
Right. Sorry, go then, man. You got it.
No worries. With Brock Lesnar, do you believe, should he return to the UFC, should he get a high-profile fight like Francis Ngannou? His first fight back. What do you think?
Now I'm not going to say necessarily Francis Ngannou, but if Brock Lesnar goes back to the UFC, yes, absolutely yes, you give him a high-profile fight. This is Brock fucking Lesnar. I don't care about the steroid failure. I don't care about him going to the WWE. He's a draw. You give a draw a high-profile fight. There's no argument to that. It's a yes. Nice.
I agree.
What are you opening, Joe, so you can tell the people on the audio?
I got to remember the audio. I am opening a Garage Brewing Company Marshmallow Milk Stout.
Yes, one of my favorites.
For the recommendation of my cousin Robert Taylor.
That's right. But yeah,
I look to enjoy.
You absolutely do get Brock Lesnar a high-profile fight.
100%.
Stylistically, I think Ngannou, if it is him, is a winnable fight just because based off of what Stipe did. Now,
totally favorable.
Yeah, I mean, so it's winnable. It's possibly favorable, but I mean, he's got that power to just make Brock curl up like a little ball into a little ball like Cain Velasquez did. So
and Uberim did.
Yeah. So but yeah, no. To answer the question, Brock Lesnar, yeah, high profile fight, absolutely. There's no way you can say no to that.
Yeah, I agree. I think you give him the high-profile fight. I don't believe it's Francis Ngannou. You give him John Jones. If he comes back against Ngannou and gets knocked out, he's done for. Put him against Jones, and let's say he loses, he can still have another fight, and it matters because John Jones is the greatest fighter of all time. You lose to John Jones, okay, fine, move on.
Mighty Mouse.
Well, no, I agree with that. No, we've had this conversation 1,000 times before. Mighty Mouse can never fight Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, true.
So if you lose to John Jones, you lost to arguably 50-50. You look at a lot of debates, a lot of reading, it's 50-50 between Demetrius and Jones, right?
For sure.
You lost the greatest of all time. Cool, everybody else does too. He can have another fight so you can use him twice. If he fights Ngannou and loses, you got one fight out of him.
Yeah.
You use him twice. You give him 2 fights. First one against Jones. If he wins, he beat the GOAT. Cool.
Yeah.
He can fight anybody.
If he comes back, you make the biggest, most profitable fight you can with him. And that is John Jones.
That's John Jones. And then after that, let him fight fucking anybody. It doesn't matter. Let him fight Struve. Let him fight Orlovsky. Then just use him to fight freaking,
for as much hate as he gets, I actually cringe at the thought of what Brock Lesnar can do to Stefan Struve.
Oh, he would,
when he gets him on the ground, that's a mauling.
He'd ground and pound the shit out of him. Yeah. It wouldn't be cool. And I like Stefan, but he would be fucking damaged. Yeah. But
all right, so
answer. Thanks, Duke.
Last question from Duke Bear. and actually, this is probably an easy answer for everybody. What regional promotions champion do you believe Dana White should try and pick up? I think somebody answered it on the actual post.
Shorty Torres.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Jose Shorty Torres. I mean, I fully expect him to be there for UFC Chicago. So
I know they keep booking fights, and I keep seeing fights line up for it. I'm like, where's Shorty? Where's Shorty? Where's Shorty?
By the way, who called Curtis Blades an Overeem?
I believe you did.
I did. Thank you.
Once again, MMA to the max.
Mystic MMA to the max. Who the fuck are these guys?
Who the fuck are these guys?
Who the fuck are
Providing
these guys?
them with their jobs. That's what we do.
Well, that was easy.
That's what we do.
So, hey, thanks for the questions, Duke.
Yeah, and Duke, you knew the answer, and obviously Doug did too because he responded. Way to ruin the surprise, asshole.
That was easy. So
that's not a bad one. Joshua Brower asks, with Volkov's reach advantage, do you think he will try to keep it standing with Werdum?
Yeah, yeah, that's just what you need to do against Werdum. Realistically, I know Volkov has. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I know I was reading about it recently that he's 3 inches taller. I think it's 6'7" to 6'4", and he's got 3 inches of reach on him. I don't know the exact number. It could be 70 to 67. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Yeah, absolutely. Stay on the outside, dude. He's done his entire UFC career so far. That's only been 2 or 3 fights. Use the jab. Stay on the outside. He's got great footwork, great head movement, and his jab work is amazing. He's got a solid jab that can keep somebody like Werdum at bay. The problem is Werdum is no longer the Werdum of old, man. He's now a Rafael Cordero Muay Thai striker.
Very good striker now.
Takes a lot of chances with his strikes too. He's not afraid. Very competent, and that makes him more dangerous because if the striking game's not going his way, he's not a horrible takedown artist like a Nate Diaz when it comes to takedowns or clinches. So I mean, yeah, definitely keep it standing. Even reach advantage or not, keep it standing against Fabricio Werdum.
Yeah, I think that's the way you beat Werdum. I don't care who you are, what your background is. Your best chance to beat Werdum is on your feet. His jiu-jitsu is second to fucking none, especially at a heavyweight. He like I used to talk about Frank Mir. He moves on the ground like a middleweight. Frank Mir used to do that. He's still pretty good on the ground, but something happened to him. Long story short, fell in love with his hands and getting knocked the fuck out. But so Werdum, you beat him on the feet. And the thing is, like you're talking about, Werdum will stand on the feet. He's Rafael Cordero Muay Thai striker, and he takes chances. Yes, because if you rock him, not knock him out, he goes right back to his instincts of jiu-jitsu. So rocked or not, he's scrambling, looking for passes, looking for sweeps, underhooks, trying to get half. That's what he's doing.
Or he gets rocked and falls to his back and lets you just jump right into his guard. Looking at you, Fedor.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Get rocked, and he's gonna work on instinct, and he's gonna be the best jiu-jitsu guy at heavyweight. So I'm gonna take the craziest chances I can because I don't believe you're gonna knock me out. But if you rock me, I'll fall on my back. You're going to jump into guard to finish me. And with my eyes closed and one arm, I'm going to fucking submit you, Fedor Emelianenko. So, yes, he's going to use his jab, stay on the outside. And he's a tall guy that knows how to use his jab. I think this is a good fight for him to win. He's got a really good chance to win. I'm on the fence on this one.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. I believe.
Next question, I think is no, I read that one. You're up, buddy.
Did you read that one, the Volk one?
Yes.
Man, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind.
I'm a professional. I printed it out. I'm taking notes. I'm scratching off.
I got the notepad open. It's the same thing, man. I do everything digitally. Leave me alone.
I'm an old man. I got to write it down and look at it. I'm nearly into my 40s.
All right. Let's get into some fight talk real quick then, if we could do this. Ooh. You know what? Before we do that, I really want to ask this question. I like this question a lot. Nick Hilton asked. This was a very deep and very awesome question.
Good question,
If you could
Nick.
take away one fight outcome in recent history, what would it be and why?
I thought long and hard about this one, and in recent history was the answer, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's not just because I know I'm biased for people who were guests of the show. In my mind, Eric Anders won the fight against Machida. It was close, but he won the fight. I would take that one back because no offense to Machida, I love him, enjoyed everything he's given to this sport, but he's not making another title run.
Yeah,
Eric Anders has it in him to make that title run. So give him that win over a legend, right? Reverse it, give him the win over that legend. It keeps propelling him on the path that he is on, where he deserves to go. Again, before he was ever on the show, I was singing his praise.
Yeah.
I was loving what he was doing.
Don't mind me, I'm listening. I just got an emergency text.
No, yeah. If something has to happen,
no, nothing had to happen. I just had to answer it, but I'm still listening.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so to me, that I was trying to go back on all the shitty, fucked up, wrong decisions that have happened, and the one that I think that has the most significance is Eric Anders' decision loss to Machida. Yeah. It was a close fight though, so it's not like a robbery. We can go back to Pearson Diego 1,000 freaking times. But it's not a robbery loss. It's just he should have won the fight to propel him and move the division forward.
I agree.
That's all.
So if I had to take that same question there, this is going to come off really hateful and hate-filled in my mind to a lot of people, and it's probably going to give me a lot of dirt. If I'm going to take away one outcome of a recent fight, it's going to be Conor McGregor beating Eddie Alvarez at UFC 205. Reason why, not because I dislike Conor McGregor.
Outcome, not decision. Okay.
Yeah, just the outcome. Just Conor doesn't beat Eddie Alvarez. Take that away. Exactly. Because if that doesn't happen, he doesn't come the dual division champion like that. The Mayweather fight doesn't happen. He might actually be in MMA still. He's defending maybe the featherweight title, or if not, actually still fighting in period. If he can't make 145 again.
At lightweight, yeah.
Yeah, at lightweight or something. But he's at least competing. And it would just be better off for the sport of MMA. We'd get Conor McGregor headlining shows, doing everything, bringing in money, bringing in fans, which is awesome. I give him all the credit in the world for being the guy to bring in a lot of these fans, albeit they are the pretty annoying half the time.
Scourge of the earth.
Yeah, it's like they're hardcore ones at least. But yeah, that's the result I would take. And congratulations to him for doing it, but just the windfall of everything that happened after he won the lightweight title is the reason why that would be my outcome to take away.
Good read, and though I might disagree to an extent on that one, that the way I read it was obviously outcome. I like the way you read into that question better than I did. Because to me, you win the fight, you win the fight. He knocked out Alvarez. I like the way you read that one. Kudos, bro.
Oh,
good
yeah,
answer.
Yeah, that's
real
good
good
answer. Yeah, I mean that's the only reason.
I like
that's the only
that,
reason,
bro.
Man.
I really, really, really like that one, dude.
That was the thing that immediately popped in my head when I read the question, and that for that exact reason. Because I've always been thinking about what would have happened had things changed.
God damn it! All right, last episode you and I were on together. I actually got you to concede. This episode, you've got me to fucking praise you on your thinking. What's wrong with this world?
I got better the week you were gone. What can I say?
You know what, Derek? You're not allowed on the show. When you're on the show, you're building Robert up, and I don't like it. Yeah, we're done, brother. We're done.
Platinum, brother. And we're making platinum tonight. All right.
I'm good with this next question right here. I'm going to go to our boy Dylan Roberts.
Nice.
It's a fight that we've been talking about for fucking decades, it feels like. Khabib versus Tony. Who's your pick? Feel like Khabib surprises people and dominates unless Tony catches him with a slick sub. Sorry, I'm botching what you said there. Feel like Khabib surprises people and dominates Tony unless Tony catches him with a slick sub. Little concerning to see how a wrestler like Kevin Lee, not of the same caliber as Khabib, took Tony a majority of the fight. Does that make sense? I'm butchering your question, Dylan. I apologize.
Thoughts, Yeah, words are hard.
Reading is more difficult than words because you got to sound them out.
Don't you have reading glasses? I swear you do, or something. You should probably.
Dude, you want to pick on me because I'm old? I'm like, 10 years older than you or something? Fucking child.
No, that's a great question. Thanks, really, Dylan. Appreciate it. And I'm glad it got asked to me first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. See, here the difference is and Dylan, I think, feels the same way just from talking to him in other groups. I don't think Khabib dominating Tony is surprising in my mind. Honestly, just the way he's dominated his opponents. Gleason T-Bow aside, but T-Bow also popped. So like later on, so who knows what he was on.
Popped?
So
T-Bow popped.
Yeah. The general consensus is that this goes to the ground. Tony's getting his ass beat unless he catches him with a sub. I don't think he catches him with a sub. I don't care if he is an Eddie Bravo black belt. There's a lot of people in the jiu-jitsu community that question Eddie Bravo. Don't know why they do, but, you know.
Did I do that the right way or the back? I did the 10th planet. The 10, is that the right way in the camera? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure how it's going to show up on video, man. But yeah, no. Basically, yeah, I'm with what Dylan was saying after his question. I think Khabib absolutely dominates Tony. Either getting to Tony to make a mistake so he catches on a submission like a Kimura or an Americana, maybe even a choke, or he absolutely just dominates him for 5 rounds and beats the ever-loving hell out of him. The fact that Tony Ferguson says he's going to welcome him to the ground, as Eddie Bravo has said too on the Rogan podcast, saying, yeah, Tony's going to welcome him to the
100%.
ground.
100%. He will.
He's a fucking idiot. This is going to be a life-changing fight if he welcomes the ground game, because Khabib is going to beat on him. And I think if it goes to decision, it's minimum 50-45. Or not, obviously 50-45, 50-43, sorry.
Okay. I wanted to give you a second to catch that.
Yeah.
50-45 would just be he lost every round.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm giving at least 2 10-8s to Khabib if it goes to decision.
This is another time when Robert and Riverside Joe are going to have a staunch disagreement. The more I'm looking into this fight, the more I'm seeing Khabib lose. I don't see this fight going to the ground as easily as everybody else does. Granted, Khabib's got the best takedown in MMA, the best in all of MMA. Tony Ferguson is the best at creating scrambles. He's the best at capitalizing from scrambles. Take me down, go for the shot, I create a scramble, I capitalize, I get up. He's longer. He has got a great jab. He is unorthodox. You cannot plan on fighting someone who strikes the way that Tony does. You can't do it. You can't train against him. Who's he training with at AKA that can mimic the way Tony strikes? And the reason Tony strikes is going back to an answer from a previous question about Werdum. He's not afraid to go on the ground, so he's going to do all sorts of things that you don't expect to see. He will get taken down. He will get dominated from top position. He will not be submitted by Khabib, and he will not, my bad fingers, he will not be ground and pounded to submission by Khabib. This fight does go the distance, with the winner coming out being Ferguson 3-2 on his feet. He's going to be able to stay on his feet long enough,
like the
and
question,
he's going to be able to attack enough from his back.
Like the question, like he mentioned after the question about the question, the fact that Kevin Lee was able to have success A, in the striking game versus Tony, B, on the ground, had mount on him, and C, coming in with a staph infection and still doing it. This is a man that was at 25%, 30%, 40%. Yeah, that gives me pause for concern with Tony. That fight changed my entire outlook on this fight. I always had Nurmagomedov winning the fight. That fight solidified it for me. And I know it's like MMA math in a sense, even though they haven't all fought each other and all that. You know, fighter A is able to do that.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's just, you look at the style. I'll go on record right now and say Khabib's a better striker than Kevin Lee.
Oh, by far.
By far. Kevin Lee had success.
His last fight proved it. His jab in his last fight against Barbosa, I was singing the praises of his striking.
And his and Kevin Lee had success striking against Tony. I see no reason why Khabib won't. And like I said, if Tony wants to welcome to the ground, it's an ass whipping waiting to happen, man. So we're gonna we'll disagree on this.
Correct. Yeah, we'll get into it more when that fight gets closer. But Tony is a habitual late starter. A, and B, he Ferguson's top game, Lee's top game is minimal at best. Take me down at will.
Still had mount.
No, that's fine though. We saw what happened in the end. With staff or not, nothing against Lee. He's gonna be a champion one day, possibly. He's fucking badass. He really is. He's one of the guys that I love at 130, at 155. I mean, there's so many guys that are great at 55. He's one of them I love. But Ferguson is not going to allow himself to be taken down like that. He's going to welcome the ground game. He'll welcome it for a round, maybe a round and a half. But after that, he's going to figure it out, man. People aren't giving El Kukui enough credit.
Oh, I give him credit. I think he's great, but don't see it happening. All All right, so
I know this is fun. It's going to be a fun fight. It's going to be a great fight.
So
everybody.
let's keep on with that the theme of UFC 223 then. The next fight, co-main event then. Paul Hadley Miller asks, Rose versus Joanna. Has Rose really evolved into a fighter that can beat Joanna twice in a row, or will we see a return of the merciless, dominating assault of Young Jacek?
We will not see the return of the merciless assault of Young Jacek. I understand that the weight cut was a big issue for her. I understand that the weight cut can be a viable excuse, not like an excuse like, oh, whatever. You're aware of who Rose's training partner is, correct?
In the gym or in bed?
In bed is Pat Barry, and the gym is Shevchenko.
Sorry.
How many times has Shevchenko beaten Joanna in Muay Thai?
I believe it's 3.
3.
That's right.
That's all I got to say.
Which is true.
That is why she won last time. That is why she'll win again, because Shevchenko is one of the greatest female fighters of all time at 125. Because she can't make 15. She's too small. Joanna can. So obviously she was bigger than Joanna in Muay Thai when they fought, blah, 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 blah. But she can be mimicked perfectly by Shevchenko. Mm-hmm. That's why she lost last time. That's why she'll lose again.
That's fair. I'm going to go in a different direction, but not completely. Not completely.
It's Pat Barry that's going to
Will we see a return of the merciless, dominating assault? No. Has Rose really evolved into a fighter that can beat Joanna twice in a row? I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know. Because Joanna, from the very start of the fight, didn't look comfortable. That's something you can make adjustments on. And so it's the same thing.
Joanna didn't look comfortable.
Yeah, Joanna didn't look comfortable from the very start.
I think it was the weight cut that did that.
It could have been the weight cut. It could have been her just, I'm the best, not taking things seriously. I'm not trying to make excuses. I don't know. Now, she just didn't look comfortable from the get-go.
Or that she couldn't get in Rose's head.
Or she couldn't get comfortable just because of Rose's footwork and everything she was throwing at her and she was showing. Which, possible, but we don't know until the rematch.
This is true.
I mean, I still see Rose, and I saw it even in that fight. She's still the same girl that should have lost to Tisha Torres in that rematch in the UFC, their first fight.
That was a close decision. I think close. She didn't win.
She did lose to Kovacevic. I think she can beat Joanna. I'm not gonna absolutely 100% bet the house on it, because I could see Joanna making some adjustments, maybe taking it a little more serious, and then sticking on the outside, and and sticking, getting a point decision win here. If not, either way, she's moving possible. Up to 125. So I can't answer
Joanna's
that question.
Going up to 25.
She should.
She's not beating Shevchenko at 25.
It's a fight I still want to see.
Because I guarantee you, Shevchenko's got better ground game. And she's won 3 Muay Thai fights.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
so her stand-up is better.
So at least my answer for Paul's question is to be determined.
No. Nazi's got your family. You got to choose.
I'm going IHOP.
No, that's not how it works. Your family's dead and you're eating pancakes?
Have you had their pancakes? They're delicious. They're delightful.
Yeah, they're better than mine. And I pride myself on my pancake making ability. Fair, I'm going to let you get away with that one just because, I'm in a good mood today. I'm going to butcher your name, Yarmo, and I do apologize.
No, that's Yarmo
Smith. Yarmo, good. Yarmo Smith.
Yeah, he. I asked him how to pronounce his last name, and it's like I think he said a Swedish name, and he's like, it just means Smith. So
it just means Smith.
Yeah.
Did he say how to pronounce it? I'd love to try. Butcher it.
Trust me.
Smith.
Yarmo. You couldn't even get Kunaskaya right, man. I'm not gonna let you try that name.
Kutakite?
So yeah, Yarmo Smith. There you go.
Yarmo Smith. He asks, I'm oblivious to current MMA, so educate me. Name a few of the best / interesting ones to follow by weight class and organization.
I'm not sure exactly what he meant. I probably should have asked to clarify if he wants us to name one per weight class per organization. But yeah, we're not.
I didn't take it that way because that would be way too much.
I think he wants to know what their weight classes are and who they fight for.
Correct. That's the way I took it too. Yeah.
If you're not up to date on the current MMA scene, if this was 2 years ago, I would say Conor McGregor.
Sure.
I mean, he brings the fans in, everything like that. You can even say a
But
John Jones.
He knows who McGregor is.
He has to have that is. But I'm talking about follow, most interesting, some of the best fighters. Oh man, that's See, I'm trying to just name a few. I don't want to be here all day, so to speak. I mean, DC, Daniel Cormier is super entertaining in the light heavyweight division in the UFC. Totally follow him if you want to. He's really interesting. One of the best fighters. You got Stipe Miocic, the heavyweight champion. You got Max Holloway at featherweight, who's like one of the throwback to one of the classiest dudes. I mean, he talks shit in the cage, but he's classy as hell afterwards. You know, it is what it is.
It is what it is, brother.
And obviously, you know me. I mean, one of the best in the world and one of the most interesting, just because of the way he shit talks, along with his accent, with his English. Habib Nurmagomedov, man, follow that guy. That guy's amazing. Listen to all his interviews. You know, Mighty Mouse, who I think is the best pound for pound, talent-wise, skill-wise fighter in the entire world of all time. That's me. That's my opinion. Yeah, I mean, you go over to Bellator. Yeah, I mean, even in defeat, Joe Warren's still one of the most entertaining guys out there.
Yeah, fun to watch. Good wrestler, man.
Yeah, you got Rory McDonald. You still got Paul Daly, Darian Caldwell. Dude, there's just so many.
Are you leaving
fighters.
any for me?
All right, sorry. Go ahead, man.
I got my list. I'm just giving you a hard time, brother. Because I said, I printed out, I wrote my list, and I'm like, yep. I'm just gonna touch on a few more. Obviously, my favorite fighter of all time, and it would be fucking like meeting Elvis if we got to fucking interview T.J. Dillashaw. If you want to look at a guy who uses footwork, angle changes, distance control. Distance management isn't just about staying on the outside. Yeah, exactly. He's fucking peeking you, dude. Distance management isn't just about staying on the outside. The way he uses distance management means we're fighting at the distance I want you to fight.
Yeah.
If I want to fight with my kick, if I want you to fight with my jab. And honest to God, Dwayne Bane Ludwig was a good MMA fighter. He had it in here, but he couldn't make it happen in here. What he was doing with T.J. Dillashaw is go back to his fight after the first round. After T.J. got hurt, he got hurt pretty good after that first round against shit. My brain is freezing. I hate when my brain does this shit. Cody Garbrandt. He got hurt pretty bad against Garbrandt. I don't know what I'm doing. And then what Dwayne Bane told him was, don't set up the kicks, just go for it. Distance, right? Distance from punchings to kicks. Dwayne saw it. He taught his pupil, his number one student, no. Don't worry about setting up your kicks, because Dwayne saw it. And the way those two guys work together, that whole history, if you want to get interested in MMA, part of getting interested in MMA, we go back to the question that Eve asked. How do you get your non-sporty girlfriend / wife in? If you want to get back interested in MMA, look at that backstory. Look at the relationship that T.J. Dillashaw has with Alpha Male, with Dwayne Bane Ludwig, and how that is panned out to make him, in my mind, one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters in the world. So follow T.J. Dillashaw, motherfucking Shorty Torres. He is the best fighter in the world, not in the UFC. He is UFC. You talked about UFC caliber. He's got it. He's UFC caliber. I mean, he is the next big thing.
Rory McDonald and Gegard Mousasi are still out there, so they're not in the UFC anymore. Or you're talking about best fighter that hasn't been in the UFC.
Correct. Right. Not in the UFC that hasn't been. Yeah, 100%. Rory McDonald is probably you got a pound for pound top 5. You got a pound for pound Rushmore of current fighters. Rory McDonald's on it. He's 100% on it.
Before we get into the next question, I am opening up the my second beer of this week, as Joe had opened up his Marshmallow Milk Stout from Garage Brewing Company.
Disappear, brother.
I am opening up the Clown Shoes Brewing Undead Party Crasher American Imperial Stout. Meow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that label. Look at that label. Look at that label.
I have literally used the term clown shoes to refer to certain. I don't want to be too.
My bottle opener now.
Yeah, I've called people who I've had to work for, as far as I work in construction, general contractors. I've called them clown shoes before. It's just so funny. I love that term. Like, dude, he's fucking clown shoes. He's a prop. He sucks.
Let's see how this thing tastes.
Hey.
Yeah, great question. Great question, Yarmo. Hope that answers.
Thank you,
man.
Very good one.
Hope those answers.
Follow Shorty Torres. He's in the UFC soon.
Yeah. Got a couple questions. At least a couple, questions we could both answer.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna save the questions to you till we're all said and done, because I got some fucking retorts.
Ooh, this is thick. This is dark. This is dark and thick.
Just like you like your men. Robert Taylor.
Let's see if I like it though.
And
We'll see. We'll see.
Put the glass up. Oh,
it was a decent pour. It's got a little bit of head. That's good. That's good for a stout. But
describe the aroma. What does it smell like?
Black licorice, which gets me a little worried. I might not like this because I don't like black licorice.
No. What does it say? What does the bottle read? Judge it by your face. It wasn't bad.
That is the most disgusting stout I've ever had.
Really?
That's absolutely horrible. That is absolutely horrible. How dare you guys?
Hold on. It's clown shoes. It's a fucking prop, brother.
Oh, that is disgusting. Oh my god.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm pouring this out and I'm grabbing another one, man.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah, I am pouring this piece of shit out. This is disgusting.
Holy shit. So am I going to have to run the show for the next question? What's the next question so I can run off on it?
Okay, let me ask you a question real quick so you could yeah.
I'll reiterate my points when you get back. So you
talk a little bit. My brother Douglas Taylor asked Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier, who wins and why? Your opinion while I get the other beer. God damn, this shit is gross.
Doug, great question. God damn it, I hate it when my family members are good at stuff. And that amazes me that a beer is so bad that Robert's going to actually go and pull it out, because if you guys want to have fun next time we do one of these Ask Us Anything kind of questions, ask Robert the beer he used to drink before he became a hipster. They have both ended in light and fucking prick. Doug, good question. Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier, first off, is undefeated if your name isn't John Jones. Daniel Cormier is undefeated as a heavyweight. He's fought the likes of Frank Mir, Josh Barnett. He won the heavyweight Grand Prix at Strikeforce. He knows how to fight heavyweights. He knows how to use his size disadvantage to an advantage. Again, get inside. He's an Olympian. He's one of the greatest wrestlers that have graced the upper weight divisions of MMA. I don't want to. I'm on the fence. I'm thinking that DC wins. That's kind of where my gut is going. But you can't ever count out Stipe Miocic. I made that mistake against the Ngannou fight. I picked Ngannou to win, but my heart was set on Stipe. Stipe is the greatest UFC heavyweight, having defended his belt 3 times. No other heavyweight has done that in the UFC. So hats off to him for that. And there's a reason why, because that is the hardest hitting, the most interchangeable, unpredictable division in all of the UFC. But when all said and done, undefeated unless your name is John Jones. I'm on the fence, but I'm falling towards DC via decision, via ground and pound. You got a motorcycle going by too?
Yeah.
As well as your inability to open a bottle of beer?
Well, I'm opening it up with my Garage Brewing Company bottle opener thing, which is pretty cool. Which, by the way, I decided to grab my own bottle of marshmallow milk stout.
We're twinsies. We're twinsies.
I had to
get shit is delicious, brother.
After opening up that beer and trying it for the first time and being absolutely disgusted by the taste. Holy shit, that tasted like feet.
Okay, so who's never going to be a sponsor of the show?
Yeah, Clown Shoes Brewing, whatever, you fucks. Joke's on me, apparently.
Clown Shoes, motherfucker.
Disgusting. Anyways, I caught the end of your answer there, picking DC. Ground and pound.
That was kind of the gist of it. It's a tough one. You can never underestimate Stipe. The gist of it. But DC undefeated as a heavyweight, undefeated unless your name is John Jones.
Much better.
He's taken powerful shots from guys like fucking Anthony Johnson.
Yeah,
and he's won those, and he's taken hard to hit perfect shots. So he can take the punch. He's fought a heavyweight. He can take that punch. He gets inside on Stipe. He dirty boxes him. He picks him up, puts him down, pounds him, picks him up, puts him down, pounds him a little bit. Doesn't completely kill him. 50-45.
So
maybe loses a round.
So here's my thinking on that fight. I love Stipe. I think Stipe is one of the best, and I think Daniel Cormier is one of the best. Obviously, Stipe is the greatest heavyweight of all time because he's defending the UFC. UFC is the pinnacle, whether everybody wants to argue anything else. I used to say Fedor, but he came over to the state. When he came over to the States, it was lackluster. He wasn't that old.
Testing changed a touch where he was before.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
I'm
and
insinuating
the competition went up. The people he's fighting versus
something.
Either way, I think about this fight, and a lot of it, at least in the grappling exchanges, the wrestling reminds me of Daniel Cormier versus Josh Barnett in the finals of the Strikeforce Grand Prix. So
you're gonna love listening back to this.
Is that what you were talking about too?
I'd mentioned him beating up guys like Josh Barnett.
Yeah,
referencing wrestling acumen.
So when everybody says like Stipe's got the wrestling to keep it standing, no, he doesn't.
Not against DC.
Not against DC. The wrestling, the levels are completely different, especially MMA wrestling. DC has been able to translate his wrestling to MMA better than a lot of people, probably better than most.
It's the chain wrestling when you include strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's chain wrestling in wrestling, but in MMA you got the cage and strikes that you've got to encompass in your chain wrestling, a la Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, and it's not like DC's got the. He's going to be terribly undersized. He's going to be shorter, sure, but I mean the reach isn't going to be that much of a big deal. It's not going to be that.
He's going to be 15 pounds lighter.
Yes, I mean for the most part. So I personally. I mean, DC could catch him with a really good shot, but I caught your end there where he's taking a lot of hard shots and all that. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. He's definitely going to be the best heavyweight fighter that DC's fought at heavyweight. I don't know how DC's body is going to react to fighting with that much weight again. Like without having to do the cut first. I don't know how he's going to be carrying a little more because he's not going to cut at all and have to rehydrate. Because when he rehydrates, he doesn't get back to his walk around weight. So
no, his walk around rate is like 235 almost.
Yeah, he's not getting back to 235. I mean, he's going to carry another 10-15. I don't know how his body's going to react again to doing that. It's been so long. So I am leaning towards DC by decision. I am.
There was another fighter talking about moving up a weight class. I think it was
Luke Rockhold.
No, not recently. Who moved up weight class? I'm thinking it was McGregor. Talking about not having the discipline of diet throughout training camp.
Yeah.
When it does something to you. Like, think about it. When you're disciplined, the discipline, where you're just like, oh, it becomes too free and too fun.
Yeah.
You're not hitting that discipline, maybe not just with your diet, but not in your training. I don't believe that's going to be DC's problem. He's proven time and time again that he is one of the baddest ass mofos around, as Conor McGregor has. But I think DC's fought a heavyweight before. I'm on the fence. Like, again, if Nazi's got my family, I'm fucking going to take DC. If I have to make a choice, I'm going to take DC via decision. Right now. But let me run some math and do some calculations again in 2 weeks, and I don't know.
I don't know if you hear that, but that loser ass that drives up and down the street.
The motorcycle?
No, that's not a motorcycle. That's somebody's stupid beat up Honda that he put a goddamn fucking intake and exhaust on it to make it loud when it has no speed whatsoever to it, no power, setting off people's goddamn car alarms. This fucker does this every night, man. He's a fucking piece of shit. And obviously people don't know who I'm talking about in my neighborhood because they're not here, but, fuck that guy. Anyways. Sorry about that. Your question.
I'm going to ask a question that was directed to you.
We're going to do that now.
From your good friend and friend of the show, Chase Moore.
This should be fun.
Sorry, I get into the mic when I'm trying to read a little bit. I apologize.
No, it's
modulating. Right. So this is what Chase says. If I were a magical genie and could guarantee Khabib one day would KO McGregor into retirement with the only negative being Riverside Joe, me, this guy right here, this handsome, svelte man, would lose his entire left leg. Would you accept the offer? Or does Joe get to keep both his legs?
Does your wife have an issue with amputees?
I'm going to say yes.
Are you going to lose your job?
It's a deal breaker, 100%. It's all gone.
It's all gone?
Everything.
Really?
I
Everything?
lose my house.
You lose everything?
Lose my family. Lose my job. Can't drive my car. I don't know why, but I need my left leg for my automatic.
Oh well, shit, dude. That kind of changes nothing.
Didn't think so, fucker.
Khabib the winner. Sorry. Hey, man, enjoy the wheelchair. Hope you're able to move around. At least you have more time to watch and study the fights and get your points up and pick them. So, yeah, sorry. You legless bastard.
Describe the image you see.
What, 2 middle fingers? Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you.
That's 2 more fingers than the legs you'll have.
That was good. God damn it. Sometimes you're clever. Every now and again, you're fucking clever, and I have no retort.
I'm quick, man. Sometimes I'm quick like that. I like that. Good. Yeah, nice, Chase. He said he was... I'm kind of disappointed it's not as fucked up as he was telling me he was going to start asking. But
yeah, Chase knew the answer to that because you're a heartless asshole, and you don't even care about your family and friends.
Yeah.
Chase,
true.
Friend of Robert's, he doesn't care about you.
All right. Nick Hilton asks again. I think this is like the second question. Who do you see in the future, if any contenders exist yet, that could take Cyborg?
One. There's only one real featherweight female fighter that could possibly someday in the future, maybe if possibly she can get her passport shit figured out, is Megan Anderson. But that's a big, big maybe.
It is a big maybe, and I'm going to disagree with you on that. As I think the only person that has a chance to take out Cyborg is Amanda Nunes. Power, style-wise, that's it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
No, see, I like you reading this question. I'm trying to think on the featherweight path since Cyborg is really the only featherweight in the UFC. So I'm trying to get other featherweights in there.
Anybody right now, any contenders right now. I mean,
yeah.
Amanda Nunes.
See, I'm sick of her fighting bloated fucking.
She moves up to featherweight. She's an immediate contender. I mean, regardless.
Of course. So anybody in the UFC featherweight division is an immediate fucking contender, like Kuntakaya.
Yeah. So
did I say it better that time?
Kunitskaya. Come on, how hard is it, man? Be a professional. And again, there you go. Perfect.
And again, Kunitskaya, fucking hats off to you for taking this fight, but I'm sick and tired of seeing Cyborg fight bloated fucking bantamweights. I'm done.
Hey man, you call it Cyborg, Nunes, you have to handle it.
And Amanda Nunes will be a bloated bantamweight. I don't fucking care. I want featherweights fighting featherweights.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, like I said, I think Amanda Nunes is the only one stylistically that could give Cyborg problems. Sure, they're both strikers, but she also, I believe, is going to have a reach advantage on Cyborg, and she has the style, she has the power to keep up. And Amanda Nunes she can take a shot, and she's not going to be afraid to take a shot. So I think she's the only one.
Amanda's fighting Raquel Pennington next.
Yeah, and I think she absolutely destroys Raquel Pennington.
She puts a hurting on her and ends it within 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's not even going to be close, especially Raquel Pennington coming off of a 2-year layoff after the car accident. Her leg getting shattered. I mean, I can't believe they're booking it right afterwards. But
who else at bantamweight do you have for her? It's a very bantamweight and featherweight are very shallow for the women right now.
It's kind of a shame what a hole that Rousey leaving left and Misha.
Well, yeah, that did, but they also opened up women's flyweight, so all the women who were too small for bantamweight, but that's the only place they could fight.
But the ones that were too small weren't aside from Bullet, they weren't really going to be contenders anyways.
No, Bullet is going to run, own, operate, dictate. 25. There's nobody beating her. Yeah. Nobody beating.
Yeah, Nico Montana is about to announce her retirement, man. She doesn't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, no, fuck no, dude. And she's probably like my number 2 get on this show that would make me struck. Her and TJ, they're badass fucking people.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this question because there is a question that's to me. So we have 2 questions left on our list, so I'm gonna ask the non-me question again. Once again from Nick Hilton. I wanted to save this one. I was hoping we could save this one for.
We could have. We can go. We can go on to the other ones from Chase.
Yeah, fuck it. Ask me the Chase question.
If Robert and Riverside Joe got into a scuffle, who wins and how?
It's a great question, Chase. It's a very intriguing question because Robert and Joe have gotten into a scuffle before, at least a ground scuffle.
No strikes.
No strikes. It was a ground scuffle, and we did it 3 times. The first
3
time,
or 2?
We got stopped the 3rd time because we both just kept going and getting
gassed out.
Yeah, gassed out. Yeah, really bad. The first time...
Father Time gets one of the victories here.
The first time, believe it or not, as you can see on this screen, this 6-foot-something, 200-something-pound fucker got taken down and choked out real quick by this 5'11", 157-pounder right here.
I took you down, and you got me in a very nice strike.
I hooked your leg, and I tripped you backwards. And you rolled to scramble, and I immediately took that back, got the hooks in, got the choke.
I tried to get him out. And well done, you got me.
Yeah. And then we rolled immediately after that, and he got me with, I believe you got me with an Americana.
A very good Americana. It was completely isolated, step over, Left foot was still on his left side here. It was good. Both of us, we got each other, so we're 1-1, and Father Time has the other one.
Yeah, we kept rolling, going back and forth. Because granted, this isn't a fight. We're rolling and grappling. So,
if we were striking,
if this was a fight striking, Joe would beat the shit out of me. I'm not too.
No, I don't want to be too. I would probably use my reach the best I could, and it would end up in I'm more comfortable in grappling. It would probably end up in a grappling match, and I would probably.
You're being modest. Just admit you'll beat the hell out of me. Come on, man.
Yeah,
you're like 3 times my size here.
I used to fist fight my older brother, who's fucking bigger than me, can hit hard as a train.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, you're probably right. I'd beat the shit out of you if we stood up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If it was a real fight out of anger, yeah. I'm not gonna.
I'm the only family member you have that hasn't gotten an anger fight with, so we're good.
It's not true. I think you and your brothers I've never gotten an anger fight with.
Right. Exactly. We're almost brothers growing up so close, but I get you. That was a good one, Chase. I like it, and it's true. And the honest truth is it's 1-1.
It is 1-1. 1-1-1.
It's 1-1. 1-1-1. And Father Time.
Next time we do it to break the
one.
tiebreaker, we will record it for the show.
Look, hey, if we get ourselves 1,000 followers, dude, we'll fucking do it.
Right? Yeah, we'll do a grappling match. 1,000 followers, we'll grapple, and we'll record it, and we'll do commentary for the show. We'll have our mics, we'll have our fiancés hold the mics up to us.
No, I think what we do is we grapple, and we take our 2 most interactive fans, and they can commentate on our grappling exchanges. And when it's all said and done, we'll sit back down and talk about it.
I like it a lot.
1,000 followers, people. Let's get
1,000
this thing.
Followers. Let's go. Let's get it. Last question of the night comes from Nick Hilton. Nick Hilton, man. Marry, fuck, kill. The classic, right? Holly Holm, Chris Cyborg, Ronda Rousey. Go.
I didn't have to think long and or hard about any of this, to be honest with you. Cyborg, I think you're a beautiful person, but I'm not physically attracted to you. I'm going to kill you. You're done. So it comes down to, who do I marry? Ronda Rousey or Holly Holm? Ronda Rousey is a touch of a mental case. No offense, Travis Brown, you can handle that. You're a bigger man than me. I'm going to fuck that, and I'm going to marry Holly. Because she seems a little bit more stable and more, fun to be around.
She's the preacher's daughter.
A good girl. A good girl.
Safe, simple answer.
Yes, 100%. That's the way I roll.
Simple ass Joe. Dumb
I'm
ass
average,
Joe.
brother. I'm average.
So, I'm going to kill Ronda. I
¿Por qué?
don't care about Ronda. I'm going to actually help her finish what she thought about doing after the home loss.
You motherfucker. That's so wrong.
Yeah, I'm tired of playing it safe on the show. We're going to just go to the extreme here. And out of sheer curiosity in my mind, I'm going to fuck Cyborg.
She's going to fuck you.
Yeah, maybe, probably, but out of sheer curiosity,
hurt you.
Out of sheer curiosity, man, I feel like she's gonna be like she would be a banshee.
Have you seen A Night in China with X-Pac?
Yes.
I have not.
Yeah,
hey,
you know what? As disgusting as China is and all that, she was a banshee in bed for X-Pac. So, I think Cyborg's gonna be a banshee. I mean, it may not be great to look at, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. She'll make it interesting.
So who you marrying?
I'm marrying Holly Holm, preacher's daughter. I don't believe in it or whatever, but you're the preacher's daughter, bitch. You can't cheat on me. So
all I've ever heard, she's a phenomenally nice person.
Yeah. Well, so is my mom, but I don't want her judging any fights.
So is my mom, but I don't want her. Good call back to Joe Rogan's about Adelaide Bird.
I love that. Which is funny because Adelaide Bird didn't even get the worst, judge the worst scores on the card. That was Marcos Rosales.
It was a bad night of judging.
Giving the fight to 29-28 to Zingano. You stupid fucking bastard. I'm still stewing about that, man. Great night of questions.
Thank you all very much.
First time, yeah, appreciate it. We're going to do this more often, actually. So, not super, maybe once a month, ask questions, maybe once every 2 months.
I like the MA
or
stuff.
when we got some free stuff. I mean, we have a free show with no reviews in 2 weeks, but I don't want to do it 2 weeks apart. So, maybe we'll get a guest fighter on there working on some stuff. We'll see. If not, we'll get a guest, anybody on there that wants to come on. one of our friends, just shoot the shit about MMA talk.
Absolutely.
Hey, before we go and all that and do our thing, what time we sitting at? About hour and 18 minutes. Let's do it real quick then, man. Let's do a quick preview of next weekend's UFC Fight Night on Fight Pass. Werdum versus Volkov. We kind of talked about the main event, right? Werdum and Volkov earlier. So we're not going to really get too deep into that. Let's just go with your pick.
I'm going to take Werdum via submission third round. I think someone's going to get a little bit cocky, and they're going to get taken down or guard pulled, and they're going to get submitted.
Nice.
That's what I'm taking.
All right. I'm going to take Werdum. I actually think this fight goes to decision, though. I think it goes all 5 rounds, but I am going to take Werdum. Just got to go with the experience. Rooting for Volkov.
I just like
rooting for Volkov, though. I want some new blood up there. So, Jimmy Manuwa, Jan Blachowicz. I probably said that last name wrong again.
Blachowicz. Close.
I think it's Blachowicz. But, yeah.
It ain't Hudson. I can't say it.
Yeah. I think Manuwa knocks him out. It is a rematch. So
Second round.
I think he gets him in the first, but either way, it's a knockout. We'll see what happens. Tom Duquesnoy.
There you go. That one I can say right.
No, I knew it. I just got tongue twisted for a minute. Tom Duquesnoy taking on Terrion Ware. Duquesnoy coming off of his first loss of his career to Cody Stamann.
He's not losing 2 in a row.
He's absolutely, completely agree. Duquesnoy, I think he takes it by decision. Terrion Ware is actually pretty tough and durable.
Durable. He takes it by decision. I agree.
Yeah,
very durable.
The return of one of my favorite welterweights, one of my favorite up-and-coming welterweights on a 4-fight win streak, Leon Edwards against Peter Sabata. I've got Edwards taking this one by decision as well.
I think he stops him in the third round, late in the third round, but I think he's going to get peppered too much, and he's going to put him down. It's going to be the end of it.
All right. Well, yes, that works for me. We got on the preliminary card, also on Fight Pass, we got the return of Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts against Oliver Encap. Great fight. Jack Marshman making his welterweight debut against Brad Scott. Also going to be a great fight. Going to be a fight of the night in my mind.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Paul Craig taking on Magomed Akolov. Going to be another good fight. Cajun Johnson taking on Stevie Ray. That, to me, is going to be awesome. I'm a big Stevie Ray guy. I love Cajun Johnson as well.
Watch. Cajun Johnson and Stevie Ray are two guys who are fucking running up that ladder right now. Those guys are phenomenal.
And Cajun Johnson is one of those guys that's at the forefront of fighters' rights and all that for the union and stuff like that. By the way, Cajun Johnson, everybody, friend of the show, at least from all the groups. He hosts his own podcast, the Raging Cajun MMA podcast. Check it out. They just had Stevie Ray on. It was really fun. Before that, they had John McDessie on. It's a great show. Obviously, they got a little more connections. But, Cajun Johnson, check him out. So, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Plug your stuff, man, for the people on audio.
Plug my stuff. So you can get a hold of me on Twitter at JoeHud45.
Not J-Hud?
Not J-Hud, but Joe Hud. Joe Hud45 on Twitter. Instagram will be MMA to the Max Joe. And as always, the 2 is the number 2, no spaces.
Nice.
You're up, buddy.
I'm up.
Yeah, I figure I've been missing the no spaces part. I want to make sure that's all.
I'm sure it's Instagram. They should know. You have to put an underscore. You have to put an
underscore. But I'm old and my friends are old.
All right, follow me on Twitter at It's Rock Robster. Instagram, MMA to the Max Rob. Follow the show on Twitter at MMA to the Max Show. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/MMA to the Max Podcast. As always, visit our parent website of W2Mnet.com where you can find all your needs for MMA, wrestling, movies, sports, and all forms of entertainment. Obviously, movies falls into that.
One-stop shop.
That's right. Check out the Facebook group, W2Mnet.com group. Right now, it's Wrestling to the Max still. They're changing it over. It's going to encompass everything pretty soon. Be able to share anything you want, talk about whatever you want. Check us out on iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Spreaker, all the good stuff, places you can find podcasts. Check out the Facebook group, MMA Freaks, one of the biggest, fastest growing Facebook groups out there. I'm a moderator on it. Founders of the group do a lot of Facebook Live interviews with some fighters in there. Sam Alvey was just on there doing that from Florida. Hoping to get him on the show pretty soon. Other than that, man, I think we're good. It was a good show.
It was a good show. It was fun.
Cool.
Good beer. Good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Good questions, man. Appreciate it, everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Great questions. I like Chase thinking outside the box here. That was some fun stuff, too. Nick's MKF, as he put it on there. Good job. All the way around, guys. I really appreciate the interaction. I appreciate you guys listening, and we'll continue to get better.
Next time we do this, we're going live on Facebook. So,
thank you.
Yeah, next time we do the questions, we're going live. Yeah, next time we do the questions, we're going live on Facebook, everybody. So, keep that in mind. Also, 1,000 followers on Facebook.
We're gonna roll.
We grapple live on the podcast.
We're not striking. We're grappling, right?
That's right. You can watch it happen. Okay. Chase, I know you're excited for that. Get your friends to
get all your friends and families. Make the fucking fake accounts if you have to. 1,000, and we're gonna grapple.
That's right. All right. So that's it, right? We're good.
Peace.
All right. For my co-host Joseph Hudson, aka Riverside Joe, I am your host Robert Taylor. This has been MMA to the Max. We will see you next week. Take care.
See ya.
The previous podcast has been an original W2Mnet.com production. For more great content like this, go to W2Mnet.com for the worlds of wrestling, video games, entertainment, and sports.